Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations back with another flip through. This is a journal I just finished. It is made with the Nick the Booksmith booksmithing course, which is all about doing embossed covers. I love her embossed covers. This has a real, if you are into textural stuff, because of the fabric I used on this, it is just, it feels amazing. I wish I had feel-o-vision and you could just feel the cover because this is all raised. I hand painted this and then I also did some distressing. Believe it or not, Tim Holtz actually has distress paint. So I used Vintage Photo distress paint, and actually this base color is white with Vintage Photo mixed into it. And then I went back and did some distressing and then did the pink. So this was all hand painted. It is a hardcover. It has a curved spine and a hollow back binding. I decided that I didn't want a permanent closure on this. I wanted you to be able to have no closure if that was what you preferred. So I went ahead and closed it with two Tim Holtz clips that I have a really pretty cameo hanging down from it. So there's a cameo on that. It is about 8 3/4 by 5 inches wide. The spine is 2 inches deep. It has 12 signatures and 144 pages. So let's take a look inside of this. I had a lot of fun. All of my pages are coffee dyed. When I coffee dye anything, I acid neutralize it with baking soda. I have test strips that make sure that I'm in that acid neutral zone. I also have a kind of a recipe that I use, so my papers will be the same color every time. I use Hammermill. My plain paper is by Hammermill, and it also is acid neutral. And you can see I've done some stenciling in here. Again, Tim Holtz stencils. I have right up front, I did a piece of tracing paper. I have a lot of flips in here as well. Some have lace, and you'll see that some have other things, pieces of fabric, or they've been just left plain. And what's great about a flip is you can open it up and now you have all this extra room for writing on both of your sides. Or you can tuck something in there and just paper clip it shut. Either way, so it's great for storing more things in here. And then you can see by doing 12 signatures, there's not a big gap between each of the signatures. Again, more stenciling. This is that paper, the Theodosia square paper that I used. So let me just show that to you real quick. The paper in here is from this company, the Paper Studio. And this is the Theodosia square. This is the papers that I decided to use in here. For this journal, I challenged myself to not use any digital kits or printing or anything. So everything in here I have done by hand. I just have a little piece of paper that has been tucked in here with another Tim Holtz clip. I took some of the leftover coffee dyed paper and made journaling cards. This is a time card that I created with some Tim Holtz stencils. These are Tim Holtz stamps that I got from my good friend LaQuisha, who is Confident Canvas on Instagram. And this is a little Tim Holtz flower that I've added to that as well. This is a sack that I actually received from my friend Britta in Germany. And I've tucked again another piece of paper. This is just a plain coffee dyed piece of paper in here. There is tons and tons of space for writing in here as well. You'll notice I've used a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, so every signature is sewn in and tied individually. I have not used one continuous piece for this. Each one is sewn in individually. I feel like that, for me personally, is my favorite. And as you can see, because this is a hollow back binding, no matter where you open this book, it will lay flat, which to me is really important. Again, more stenciling, and you'll notice the stenciling throughout. Here I've done another card. These are some envelopes that I made. So these you can actually open up and write on as well. And there's a few of these throughout here. I've done a ton of sewing, and yes, I've left all the strings. So if you don't like the strings or you think they're too long, feel free to cut them off. But I love to have strings hanging down. Again, more lace with a flip, so you have plenty of room. And I created a lot of flips. Here's another one as well. And I like flips personally because, again, it gives me more room to write. Some more stenciling. This is a page from a book from the late 1800s. So I've included that in here. Some more of that Theodosia square. Another journaling card and another envelope. Again, you can open this up. These are not glued down, so you can completely open this up and journal inside of here. And then this is, again, not really lace, but this is, I just love this flowered embellishment, for lack of better words, and I get that from Hobby Lobby. I love, love, love that. I've just paid, again, a little Tim Holtz clip, and this is a stamp that I made, and it's actually not glued down. You can take that out. Another journaling card and another time card tag. These are blank on the back, so you can actually write on the backs of them as well. So tons and tons and tons and tons of space for writing in this journal. I tend to like to have more, this is more of a journal to write in, and those are the kinds of journals I prefer, is to have tons of writing space. The center of this is an old piece of French ephemera, basically saying that this person now has a license, and I didn't translate the whole thing, but they've been granted a certificate. Some roses, stenciling, and more of that Theodosia square paper. Again, another card that I've used the paper that I had left over from creating this, and another envelope that opens up for journaling. I love the squares paper, and again, I made a flip with that. This is another journaling card that I have just tucked into here. Lots of coffee dyed paper. This is another piece of genuine French ephemera. I don't know, this has a date, 1922 is the date on this. And I get all the vintage French paper from Monahan's Paper, so I'll put her link below as well. Another lace flip. And the rest of that paper. I love this. This is, I think, one of my favorite pages out of this whole Theodosia square. Another time card. I do have some Edith Holden in here. I love Edith Holden pages, and I can't resist. They have to be in my books. And another journaling card. So again, I made everything from scratch. Some ledger paper, some more vintage music that I included in here. The rose stenciling. And you'll see it goes back and forth between rose and scroll stenciling. I did both. Another flip here on the ledger paper. Some more of this. This was actually a ribbon that I then sewed onto this flip, and I just love this blue ribbon. I thought it was so pretty with all the pinks that are going on in here. And just a little card that pops out. You can write on the back of that, and another journaling card. Some more Edith Holden, and another journaling card and another tag. So again, tons and tons of journaling space in here. This was just, I actually have, so these are individually numbered. I had a whole pad of these and decided to copy dye those. There is a doily in here. Again, all this beautiful rose stenciling. And then the scroll stenciling. And this is a paper bag also. That's just one that I had, and I put another journaling card in there as well. These are two vertical tucks, so you can actually take things out and write in here. There's plenty of room. This is another one of those envelopes that I made that you can write in, and I put another card in the other part of this bag as well. And we are finally to the end of this journal flip through. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that you have found something creative maybe you want to try, because my goal is always to inspire you to do something creative. The link to my Etsy store will be below, and this will be listed by the time this posts. I will have this actually listed in my Etsy store, so you can go there to grab this for yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope I've inspired you to be creative today. Bye!